What's up everybody, Chris Gault here, Healthy Living with Chris Gault, and today I'm going to talk about how I stay motivated to work out and eat healthy, and we are going to get right to it. Make sure you watch the full video because I'm going to go over a lot of things here and they all tie together like pieces of a puzzle. So make sure you watch the full video to get the full effect, and then make sure you take action, because remember Newton's law that a body at rest stays at rest and a body in motion stays in motion unless a force is acted upon it. Basically what that means is if you are stagnant in your life or you're moving in the wrong direction of your life, the only way to change that is to take action. And actually about being motivated to do healthy things, it's really less about being motivated and more about building healthy habits, and that's what we're going to talk about today. And one of the ways to do that is to try to look at long-term goals versus instant gratification. So for instance, where am I going to be 1 year from now? Where am I going to be 5 years from now? Where am I going to be 10 years from now? And then building a plan to get to those goals, as opposed to instant gratification of, I really like to slug that beer down right now and eat that cupcake. So just think of that. Think about long-term goals and going after them. So set up your goal, and preferably it's great to at least do a year out. So let's say you want to lose 52 pounds. I'm just doing that because the math is going to be easy. You want to lose 52 pounds in a year, and that means you could set your plan up then. So you're going to set up your plan on how you're going to get there. You can get a health coach. I am a health coach and so is my wife, so if you need that, feel free. I'll put in the link below how you can get to that, and you can get a free consultation, and we will just talk over and you can see if it's for you or not, and then you can decide what you want to do. But let's say you want to lose 52 pounds. What you do is you want to lose that in 1 year, because you can't lose that in 1 week. It's not going to happen. I hate to break it to you. So what's going to happen is that then you need to put up a plan. So you come up with, okay, how am I going to do that? How am I going to take off weight? And what you could do is build smaller goals then. So every week I want to just lose 1 pound. 1 pound a week sounds very doable. And so if you could lose 1 pound a week, in 1 year you will be down 52 pounds and you will be feeling fantastic. So just think about that. So one of the first things you have to do is, once you come up with your plan and what you want to do. So first you come up with what you want to do, which is, let's say I want to lose the 52 pounds. Then the next thing you have to do, is come up with a plan to get there and break it down into smaller goals. But then you have to come up with your why. The stronger your why, the better chance that you have in actually attaining your goals and getting there and being successful. So what do I mean by your why? Your why could be a lot of different things. Like let's say you want to look good, or you want to be healthy and you want to be less sickly because let's say you're on a lot of medications and you want to get off those medications. Let's say you want to be able to be more active as you get older, or even a better why would be, I want to be there for my family members so I can be there with them and also enjoy life with them, so that if they are doing something active like riding a bike or something, I can go on that bike ride with them as opposed to having to sit on the couch and wait for them to come back because I am not in shape enough to be able to do it. So what you do is you come up with your why you want to lose those 52 pounds, and then you write it down on little sticky notes, and you put those things all over the place where you may be sabotaged of getting your goals. So for instance, you could put it on the refrigerator and you can put it on the pantry, and that way when you're reaching for that snack that you shouldn't be eating, then that why is going to smack you right in the face and say, hey, stay on course, stay on course, and stay on course. And I'm not talking about, you don't have to change your life drastically, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a minute, but you could do small changes that will have huge impacts over a year time, and that's why the long-term goals versus short-term gratification works so well. The next one is to surround yourself with like-minded people and surroundings that are going to help you achieve your goal. So what do I mean by that? Let's take a different example altogether. Let's say you want to run a marathon. The best thing to do, if you've never run one before, is to join a marathon program. Actually, even if you run them before, you join a marathon program, because one thing is they're going to give you a great program to do to get you there safely. So you're not just like going out and trying to run 26 miles the first day. They're actually going to gradually get you to where you want to be, and they're going to build in speed work and hill work and everything else, because they know what actually works. That plan is already there. You're relying on those experts to do that. The other thing is you're going to meet all these great people that are going to they're going to be like-minded, because they're going to have the same goal in mind. They want to run the marathon too. And you're going to be able to push each other and rely on each other and be there for each other, and it's just going to make it so much easier to attaining that goal. It's also the surrounding, because you're going to be meeting up on a trail, or you're going to be meeting up on the road somewhere to go run, and you're not just meeting up at the bar and downing a few beers, watching football on TV. You're actually out there doing something that is getting you towards your goals. So what you want to do is, whatever goal it is, it doesn't matter what the goal it is. It's sort of like, let's say if you want to be a big finance guy, well, make sure that you get yourself into groups. There's a lot of meetup groups. There's all sorts of things you can join. If you're like a YouTuber, I'm a YouTuber, I could join a YouTube meetup group. Maybe I'll set one up coming up soon, and be able to join like-minded people. I do join a lot of other Facebook groups that are out there that help me out, because I can go on and I can post stuff up, and not my video, but I can post up questions, and then people will answer, and people will put up questions and I can answer theirs. And actually you're around this like-minded people who are working hard to get to the goal of building their YouTube channels or whatever it is, and it's just going to help you get there a lot faster, because you're just going to be around people who have shared the same goal. It really is just hard to stay motivated if you feel alone and unsupported. So make sure that you get into some place, a group, physically or virtually, and get around people that are going to share in what you want to do. One of the things that helped me is I work out with my wife. I also eat very healthy. We're both vegan now. And so with that really helps out, because we're very like-minded in that we both work out, we both stay healthy. And so if you think about it, if you find a spouse or a significant other or a buddy or buddies that you can do your goal with, if you can work your goal out with them, and they're working towards theirs, and you can help each other, you're going to be much more motivated than if you didn't do that. It's very hard to stay motivated the long term, especially if you're all by yourself, especially if you're surrounded by people who are constantly telling you shouldn't be doing what you're doing. Like if you're trying to lose weight and they're giving you cupcakes, that's not a good thing. Or if you're trying to do the marathon program and they're saying, hey, let's go hit the bar, just skip your workout, don't worry about it, then you're not really helping yourself out. So make sure that if you have people like that in your life that are constantly sabotaging you and what you're trying to get out of life, make sure and I know this is going to sound tough, make sure you drop them and get around people who are actually going to help you become the best version of yourself. And going back to even that marathon program, find experts that actually have been successful in what you do and build a relationship with them. So if you want to build a lot of muscle mass, join a gym and go to the people who are working out that are big and try to see if they'll take you on. Talk to them and say, hey, how did you get that big? And find out what they do. A lot of these people who are successful are really, really open to sharing their success story. And all it takes is just asking them, how did you become successful? And like even on the YouTube thing that I have, there's so many YouTubers that are very successful that have YouTube videos on how to be successful. And so you could watch those if you're trying to grow a YouTube channel, and you can learn how to do it by them. They're the experts. Why would you go to someone who hasn't had any expertise? So let's say if you want to run a marathon, go to someone who's actually run a few marathons or who trains people how to run marathons, and you'll learn a lot more. Because if you don't do that, and you talk to somebody who's never run a marathon, they're going to give you a bunch of advice that's actually not going to help you. It's just the same way with the losing the weight one that we brought up, the example about losing weight. If you go seek out a health coach that actually has experience in helping people lose weight. And if you could do that, then you're going to be much better off than going to somebody who weighs 400 pounds and they're telling you how to lose weight. That doesn't really work that well, does it? And just work your way up. Don't start with the extreme. There's so many people that go all out. Like let's say they want to build muscle. So they join a gym, and the next thing they do is they're in there for 3 hours a day and 7 days a week. And they do hard. They're pushing it to the point where they just quit because they just can't keep it up. So it's better, again, this is why the long-term goal is so much more important, because of the compound effect that gets you there, is you could change one small thing in your life. Conquer that. Get that to be a habit. Do that for like 30 days so it becomes a habit. So let's say the gym thing. You go to the gym, let's say 3 times a week for 30 minutes. And if you could do that and you build it, you make it so I think anyone can actually give up 30 minutes of their day or find 30 minutes in their day to go to the gym and work out. And let's say driving there and back, let's say it takes an hour. So you could take an hour out of your day to figure out 3 days a week to work out. And if you can do that, I think anyone can, build that into their schedule without too much stress. And if you can do that and then do that for 30 days, you'll probably build it into a habit. And then once it becomes a habit, then you can introduce other things. Like let's say, okay, now on the other days, I'm going to start running. And I'm going to run for 30 minutes a day on the off days. And that way now you're working out 6 days a week, but you're gradually building yourself there. And when you go run, you don't run a marathon that day. Maybe you run a mile, or maybe you do a walk run in the beginning if you're a new runner. And then you slowly build yourself up to a few miles. And most people can do 3 miles in about 30 minutes or so, 30 to 40 minutes, and that's a reasonable amount of time. And that's a reasonable distance for most people to stay healthy. And if you could do that, then you've just introduced another thing in your life to help you become healthier, and you're going to get stronger. And again, then you keep that up for 30 days, and then that builds into a habit. And then you can add another thing. But just don't keep putting so much on yourself that you get so stressed out. And if you start to see that you're becoming too stressed out because you're adding too much to your plate, then you need to back it off a little bit. Because again, what you want to do is make sure whatever you do, it's something you can do the rest of your life, and not something that you're struggling to get accomplished every day. It's just not going to work if you're always struggling to do it. So make sure that you do that. And the last tip I have for being motivated is just don't quit. Because it's so easy to get overwhelmed and get quit. So again, if you can back off on it, make the goals a little bit easier, make the workouts a little easier in that. If you could do all that, you're going to be more motivated. It's always better to want to do more when you're done. So I know a lot of people think I'm crazy when I say that. No, you should work out until you're completely exhausted and you're ready to fall on the floor. That might work for some people. Maybe if you are a bodybuilder, or you are a power lifter or a weightlifter, maybe that does work. Or if you are competitively running a marathon and you're trying to break 2 hours in the marathon, which no one has done yet, but they're coming close, then go for it, because that's what you have to do. But for the average person like me and most people, is that you don't want to overwhelm yourself, because if you do that, you're going to lose motivation very quickly. So what you want to do is, when you're done with that workout, you want to say, you know what, I could do more, but I'm just going to save that to the next day. And the next day, you're going to look forward to it. If you keep adding more and more on every day, you keep building up, let's say you keep adding another mile every time you run, and all of a sudden you're up to 42 miles in 42 days. Or if you keep adding more weight to your sets, then eventually you're going to say, I'm just not looking forward to going. You're going to lose all motivation to do it. So what you want to do is make sure that whatever you do, you're leaving some drive there every day, a little bit more desire to do it, and that way the next day you're going to come back and you're going to want to do it, and then the next day you're going to want to do it. And if you can do that, you're going to stay motivated. And that's so much of a part of people who are successful. They're able to do it. And that's all I had for this video. I want to thank you so much. It really does warm my heart when you watch my videos. And if you have any thoughts or any questions on this topic, or any other that are health related, that help build people up, please leave them in the comments below, and I will meet you there shortly. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel and ring the bell notification. That way you'll be notified every time I put out a healthy living video. And if you like the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, because that way YouTube will push this video out to others that can benefit from it. And if you know anybody who can use healthy living videos like this one, make sure you share the video and the channel with them so they can join in on all the fun. And for more tips on how to live a happier, healthier life, 2 videos are going to pop up any moment, and you can click on any of those videos and you can continue your happy, healthy living journey. And I'll see you all next time.